killer to stay smooth. Handsome brothers stay set in the mood, but they wanted funky rhymes from the brother so cool. Trying to check the vibes and set the conversation. The keenest minds to find this observation. I'm on 10 podcast, so dope, now face it. We'll be the first to declare our greatness. Checking out, check out, I'm checking it twice on the weekly. I'm busting, cause busting is life. If you don't know, now you do though. You should peep game, that'd be cool though. Cause your part is crucial, so get on the movement. If you ain't busting, don't know what you doing. Wasting your time and ignoring the truest. Some of the realest, they greatly influenced. Kings of Montana creating a movement. Scrapping or rapping or laughing or acting. It really don't matter, cause this is our passion. We busting and trusting, it really is something. When it comes to our family, you know that we love them. That's how we roll. Montana in the house and we taking control. Podcast kings in the place to be. We taking over, just wait and see. Slow down and catch the vibe. Weekly buzz, we'll be on the night. No bull, stay true and tried. It's bus forward, it's ride or die. Slow down and catch the vibe. Weekly buzz, we'll be on the night. No bull, stay true and tried. It's bus forward, it's ride or die.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Weekly Bust. We are coming in live for season 4, episode 42. We are being welcomed by our guest. Her name is Annie Lowe. What's going on?
What's going on, guys?
What's happening? How are you?
I'm good.
Well, welcome to the show. We're gonna there's a tradition that goes into making the show and introducing new guests, especially. We give the opportunity to have the guests describe themselves in their own words. So
with that being said, who is Annie
Lowe? Where did you come from? Where did you go?
Oh, I like that. That was quick thinking. So I'm going to give the cliche answer. Annie Lowe. I'm 35. I'm from Montana. I'm from Great Falls, Montana. I currently live in...
What?
I have 2 babies. My son is 14. My daughter's 10. I work for the Department of Treasury. I have a master's in business administration from New Mexico State University.
Shout out.
Yeah, but a more insightful, I guess, introduction to me is I consider myself an empath. I am very caring. I'm very protective, very dedicated, disciplined, ambitious. I'm an entrepreneur. And as you guys know, I love fitness. I think there's kind of a misconception that I'm a fitness trainer or that I live in the gym. Neither of those are true, but a lot of people think that.
Okay, so do you compete at least?
I have in the past. I've competed in bodybuilding. I've also dabbled in powerlifting.
Okay,
nice.
Okay. I knew those muscles weren't for show.
Hell yeah. Well, they were for
well,
show.
I guess they were for show. Yeah.
Right.
At one point, yeah.
So let's just get a lot of the misconceptions out of the way then. One of the first topics that we had down is, and it's yours, is your fitness journey.
Okay. So my fitness journey, I was, a high school basketball player and I was also in the military, but I kind of want to skip past those 2 because I was fit, kind of out of a necessity to be fit for those things. But, my real fitness journey. What's that?
Thank you for your service.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Well, before I go into my fitness journey, I did want to thank you guys for having me on the show. Like, really, I'm excited to be part of this journey. I'm super excited to see people in Montana doing big things. So really, thank you so much for allowing me to be part of this.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you for recognizing.
And thank you for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And reaching out to us, actually. So that's dope.
Yeah, you weren't shy at all. You came right up. You're like, hey, man, I like what you got going on. It's cool.
I appreciate that. Yeah. And I hope to have you guys part of the event, but we'll talk about that later on. But so my fitness journey really began, I think, after I had my daughter. I'd gained quite a bit of weight. So I just wanted to lose that weight. And so initially it started out with just a lot of cardio. I was like killing myself with cardio and kind of like bad dieting. I was doing fad dieting and even starvation, just trying to be thin. Like that was my goal initially. And then I went to a weightlifting class with a friend and that really changed my life. Like after that, I was hooked. It was kind of like history was written after that. And I kind of just delved more into weightlifting. So I, like I said, I did the bodybuilding shows and I've even done a few powerlifting things, but
hey, Annie, I don't mean to pause you or anything, but is your camera, can you set it sideways?
Like right here?
There you go. Now we can see you.
Well, hold on. Let me move it up now. Can you guys see me?
Yeah, no, sure.
We should have got that figured out in the beginning, but
yeah, I didn't notice actually. I was like, why is she so hard to see?
There, that's a lot better.
There we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
we didn't really get to do that whole check first. So
yeah.
Where were we at?
My bad. You said you were getting started getting serious when your daughter's birth.
Oh yeah, and so since then, like I just kind of delved into weightlifting, and that's really where I just loved weightlifting. I love the way it made me feel. I love the byproducts, like my body recomposition, and also just like the mental health benefits from lifting was really good for me.
Great topic, considering November is men's mental health month. I have a couple topics on that actually within our show here today. So what drove you to to start into that different element of lifting and all that kind of shit?
From wanting to be thin to fit.
Yes.
What
was the spark?
Yeah.
It was just taking that weightlifting class. It was like an introduction to weightlifting, and I remember I just like loved feeling like powerful and strong. I was like, oh, I like this, and I always had like, speaking of misconceptions, the misconception that if I picked up a weight, I was going to be bulky or masculine, and really, now that I'm like really into fitness, I know like the intention and dedication it takes for a woman to actually get to that level. So ladies, don't be afraid to pick up the weights. You ain't gonna look like that. Like you would have to really be, working hard to look like that. So go ahead and pick up those weights.
Oh, that's great advice, by the way. Because there is a huge misconception if you pick up weights, you're gonna get muscular. My wife's one of those people. She doesn't want to, power lift or like weight lift at all. Not too much, except for, on her lower half. Then she likes to go to the, the bars and shit. But other than that, she's afraid to work out her upper body a lot with the weights because she don't want to become muscular or anything in the shoulders.
Well, you know what? That gives you
like,
that tiny waist appeal. So it's like you work on the upper body, it makes your waist look tiny, gives you that hourglass shape. So a lot of people think I'm just going to build the lower body, but you got to build the upper body to match it.
So, do you have a focus point of your workouts and like that you primarily necessarily work on, or are you kind of an all body?
So I try to focus on full body. We naturally have body parts that are more more easily built than others. Like for me, I'm very quad dominant. So I don't intentionally, everyone's like, you must work quads every day. I don't. It's just my quads are easily built. So no, I try to keep it all, full body.
Are you pretty well versed in like in body styles and their definitions and stuff?
You talking about like mesomorph and all that type of stuff?
Yes, exactly. Yep. And categories and atypical bodies.
I couldn't tell you the difference between them honestly right now.
Okay. It was just a question that I had in mind while you're going
like
on.
Body type question?
Yeah.
Are?
What was that?
Do you know what body type you are?
No, I would say that I fit in the category of it athletic, but I'm a non-athlete.
Endomorph, they call it.
I stay kind of slim, but I'm also I have a good muscle tone. When you get onto those what are those called? Those body scans. In-bodies. Yep. So when you get an in-body done, my in-body says I'm athletic, but I'm definitely not an athlete.
Got that natural athlete build.
Yeah. I see a library behind you. What books do you like to dig into, Annie?
Oh man, I'm like a self-development book person.
Yeah, me too.
Like either they like fiction or they like self-development. I'm big into self-development. So if I feel like it can help me improve myself, I'll try to read it.
Are you big on Robert Greene?
Yeah, I enjoy reading Robert Greene.
I really love Robert Greene. I was just watching a podcast with a fella that I just recently stumbled across with my mother. We love watching intellectual fucking conversations a lot, podcasts and shit. And one of the ones we just found was a guy named Jesse Michaels, and he's fucking super, super smart. And he just interviewed Robert Greene and his Padawan, if you want to call him that. You know what I mean? He's mastering a student of his who's another author. They're both now New York Times bestsellers. But I love his self-help books and self-development books because I think a lot of it and a lot what he focuses on is the mind and how you cater to it and what you want to manifest and push. But it's not just manifestation because he threw what's her name? Rhonda Spine, I think her name is, wrote The Secret.
I'm not sure. I didn't watch it. My boy.
He threw her under the bus and said that, obviously the reason why the book like The Secret sells 28 million copies is because everybody wants the easy way out. He's like, you're not just going to think of something and get what you want. He's all like, so you got to have a plan of action. He's like, that's where the 48 laws of power and shit come in, because you got to be able to master that.
No, I definitely agree. There's got to be some action to go along with that thought. But I do believe in manifestation as well. I think the more
so do I. Yes.
Hand in hand, the more you manifest something, the more it's on your mind. You're innately going to take those actions. So I think
100%.
Our boy Jeff Unger asked, "Where were you from?" He said he missed it. And what did you say? West Virginia.
I live in Virginia. From Great Falls, Montana.
There you go. From here, lives in Virginia. So that's fucking dope. David Tinsley, what's up, brother?
So let's get back into your fitness journey itself. When did it start? Like what age and what year, so we can have a kind of like a time frame here.
So it started about 2013. So I've been, doing this for about a decade now.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Nice.
That's a lot of dedication, and anybody that dedicates that amount of time to a craft is, that's commendable. That's something that I find admirable myself.
Especially when they call it a hobby.
That's wild to me. That's wild to me. Like when she said, "Hey, man, that's kind of a misconception because it's like a hobby to me." I'm like, "Damn, what the fuck?"
Right.
She got a strong following for just having a hobby.
But that's those misconceptions,
So 2013, you just getting grinded. Do you have any outside influences that are saying, "Hey, man, you should compete"?
Okay, so around that time, I kind of got more into bodybuilding. I lived in Hawaii, and I went to a gym out there called Powerhouse Aiea.
Damn, you've been all over.
Yeah, I've lived all over. It's been a blessing because you get to like interact with people from all different backgrounds. So it's been really cool getting to do that. But the gym that I went to, a lot of people were bodybuilding, and I was working with a trainer there, and he kind of specialized in bodybuild prepping. So that's where I did my first show. So it was shout out to Coach Kawasaki. He's a phenomenal bodybuilding coach. I mean, he's well known in Hawaii. So
cool. And what was your first experience in a competition like environment? Even the lead up, the mental like behind it, the dedication of taking time off from, whatever you had to do to get that accomplishment done.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into prepping for a bodybuilding
yes,
show.
And I want to hear about it.
Man, just the dieting is insane. The amount of cardio you do. So I think I started my prep it was a 12-week prep. So for about 3 months, you slowly like cut your calories more and more. You slowly up your cardio. But the last couple of days are really, really brutal. And then stepping on stage is terrifying. It's like kind of like this, like, it's up there with like death and then like being on a podcast, bodybuilding show.
So you don't like public speaking?
Not like really. It really is one of my biggest.
You're truly shy.
Yeah, but I was talking about self-development, getting better. So for me, this is really, a great experience for me to get to try to face that fear and come on. And also I want people to know more about me because people see me in the gym a lot. And like I said, they think that I just live in the gym and they think, oh, well, it's easy for a fitness influencer to be fit because all she does is work out. It's like, no, I work a full-time job. I have kids. I have a lot of other responsibilities. It's important to me, so I make time for it.
And see, that is important stuff for your following to know. So
you may be shy, but it sounds like you're very set in who you are. So I bet you're great at setting early boundaries too. I mean, that really helps with your progress.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And that's a skill that's been developed over time because I was a pushover back in the day. I would have given you, anything you asked for, but that's definitely a skill and I recommend everybody work on that skill because it's great for your mental health. Learn how to set boundaries early on and you know what I mean? You really save yourself a lot of trouble.
I agree with that.
100%.
Learning how to say no is a big one as well. Because everyone just, most people just say yes to shit. Even if they don't want to, like, fuck, I guess I'll suffer.
So you said dieting goes heavy into prep, and you do a lot of cardio. What's the strain on your mind that it takes when you're dieting into these different programs?
So yeah, like if you were like in week 9, right?
Yeah, you're deep in it, yeah, and you're just like, fuck, man, am I tired? Am I burnt out?
Last month.
What's your consideration mind? What are you thinking, and what's your mental state there?
I think like being in week 9 is actually probably easier than being in like week 2 because you can see that light at the end of the tunnel. And also like you're just so regimented at that time. It's like the first couple of weeks where it's really hard because you were just eating the foods that you like to eat and you weren't doing cardio. But by the time you get to week 9, like you're just so in it. It really is crazy. I would say like the last week though, what they call peak week, that's when things get really tough because you're still trying to train on like minimal calories. And you're kind of just like, I want to get this shit over with as quick as possible, just so I can, eat food again and live a normal life.
Absolutely.
So then you also, a lot of people, you have to consider your outfit, your tanning, your skin, because you're not only, going into, bodybuilding, you're also showcasing yourself, right? In your beauty, in your human physique, in your design.
Yeah, and I kind of think that's unfair because the dudes get to walk out there barefoot and just show their muscles. It's like women, you got to worry about what earrings you're going to wear, with hair, how you're going to color your suit. So I'm not a big fan of that part. And I think that's why I'm not a huge fan of actually, competing. There's a lot I like about it, but there's some things I don't. That's one of the things I don't. I don't like, well, one, like I'm a giant, so I don't want to wear, heels on the stage in front of people.
Hey, what's that mean though? Like, what's that like? Height, weight? Yeah. What's that mean by that?
I mean, I'm just like, for me, I'm like a giraffe. You know what I mean? Like,
how tall are you?
I'm 5'11".
Oh, you're my height. Okay.
Yeah.
So you really are tall. Holy crap!
See, and I was gonna say, I think girls start calling themselves tall at like 5'7".
I actually didn't expect you to say that. I was thinking, when you said tall, I was thinking more like 5'7" or something. To be honest,
I was gonna say that's where they start saying they're tall at. So
that's impressive, actually. You just don't hear about anybody, females being that tall. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, kind of like for me, it's like, and you're tired, you're standing in heels all day, and the day of the show is really a long day. But I mean, overall, like it's a cool experience, and I think if that's something you think you'd be interested in, do it once and just see how you like it. But I don't like the dog and pony show part of it, like having to put the suit on and get your hair done. I kind of like the idea of just getting to go up there and show the hard work you put in.
See, my problem with bodybuilding shows, in my personal opinion, is that it's all perspective on the judge's discretion, right? Is there a point system that you actually?
There's got to be something they go off of, right? They can't just. Be
I always heard it's perspectively, like it's almost like a favoritism thing. Like,
I don't know, I haven't been
a popularity vote.
Yeah, some people say that there's a lot of politics involved in bodybuilding, and it's very subjective. So what one judge might like, the other judge might not like.
Right.
Yeah, there is the subjectiveness of the sport. And that's another part that a lot of people don't like. They don't like the fact that, like, hey, this judge might know this guy and, I might look way better than him. But at the end of the day, like, if the results really speak for themselves, like, that judge would have to be really bold to say this guy won over this guy if, like, the results are just that evident, so.
So, we're in the fight culture a lot. We see a lot of controversial calls on judges. Does that happen a lot in that environment too?
It does, yeah.
Yeah, man, I could see that. And, I'm not saying that people in that environment would be egoistic or anything. I can't speak for them. I don't know, but I would imagine so, because they're so invested into themselves at that point. I bet you it's this hard mental thing if you don't get chosen. Do you know what I mean? Like, I bet you the heartbreak's almost worse than you losing a football game with your homeboy team. Dude, you know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, the good thing is, like, at the end of the show, I know judges do provide feedback of things that they think that you could work on or improve for the next show. So at least you're getting, like, legitimate reasons for why maybe you didn't place as well as somebody else. But I think if you give it your all, like, that's really all you can do. What place they give you shouldn't really matter, as long as you're, like, really doing your best and that no stone was left unturned for you to get on that stage.
Hell yeah.
What if you don't mind talking about it so much, I know you said you didn't want to, but did you place or anything? Did you do well?
So I qualified for nationals, but honestly, overall, I don't think that I did well at either show. I know the first show, I think I placed third. The second show, I placed fourth. And I was nationally qualified to go at a national level, but it's harder for a 5'11" person to compete with somebody who's much shorter. You got a lot more body to fill out. So I think, it really wasn't a sport for me. And I realized that, and that's kind of why I don't do that anymore, because I don't know how much better I could get, I mean, I know I could put in more work and do better, but I don't know that I could compete with somebody that's 5'5" and they're just compact muscle. It's just not going to be the same.
Do you guys have like this is just a question in general, I guess. Is there like weight classes and shit?
Well, so for women, there's height classes. But even like the height classes, I'm competing with girls who are like 5'6" to 5.
Yeah.
And I'm usually at the top, the top end of that. So, but then at the end, they pick the overall from each category and you compete against each other. So if you ever wanted to win overall, I mean, you're going to be going against girls that are in the, lower height classes.
Jeff Unger said, have you had any major injuries? And if so, what? And how did you conquer that?
Yeah. That's a good
man.
question.
Really
Shout out, Jeff.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I've had one, I guess, injury so far in my weightlifting career, and it's been a umbilical hernia, and I got it doing the craziest thing, which was lateral raises. So when they tell you keep your core tight doing any exercise, like you got to follow that principle, because it's really the stuff that like you don't think you'll get injured doing that you get injured doing. People think it's going to happen with the deadlifts and the squats and the heavy movements, but I think you're more cognizant of the fact that you're moving heavier weight. So you are more likely to, I think, injure yourself when you're doing something, menial like lateral raises. So yeah, I had an umbilical hernia, and it was kind of like, it was more mentally tough than physically tough, just because I wasn't able to lift.
Was it a major tear?
Yeah, it was a major tear. I had to have it, surgically repaired, and I couldn't lift, I think, for like 8 weeks after that. So really tough, not getting to be in the gym. It's such a huge part of my identity. So I was like, I was struggling.
Yeah, I bet. I've seen people, because like, I know privately, I mentioned that me and Levi worked in the gym for a long time. I worked in the gym for almost 5 years. He worked in there for a couple, right? 2 years?
One, probably.
And we've seen a lot of people, and people would go missing for a few days due to injuries and shit, and they'd come back, they're like, fuck my mind, dude. I hate it so much, because you get your serotonin and your dopamine from that fucking place. It becomes their serenity.
Yeah, because our boy Jeff Unger is going through a major shoulder surgery post-op right now. So
I'll pray for you, but I know the pain.
You mentioned something earlier, and you're like, you want to get your name out there because you do a lot more than what you do it to inspire others. And I found that triggering for me. Like, it was a point that I wanted to grab. You wanted to go over, giving back to your community, and I think that was a really good segue into that. So you moved on past the competing part. You turned it into something you really love and enjoy, and you don't want to take from that. You're also giving back to the community by displaying your efforts and shit. So you want to get into the topic of that?
Yeah. So I think giving back or contributions like really important, especially when you're in a position to do so. I was crazy because I was watching a podcast on Les Brown, and he was talking about the power of giving. And he says, whenever you see something like a deficiency or something plaguing your community, and you think to yourself, or you say out loud, something ought to be done about that.
Yeah.
Like, contribute out of the oughtness. So if something should be done, like, you should be the one to do it. A lot of times we see something and we're like, oh, someone else will take care of that. Like, if you have the ability, you should do that. And that's kind of what I see a lot in our community with like youth, like overweight or, just not really understanding about fitness or nutrition. Like, I feel like I'm in a position to be able to, to educate them or inspire them, whatever way that I can reach out to them. I think that is really important. I know that that's an issue that a lot of our communities face. So that's my way, but I just wanted to let everyone know, like, we all have something to offer the world. We all have a way that we can inspire somebody. So it might not be fitness related, but if you see something that or you recognize could be better, you should be the one to do it.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. We live on that principle. I think one of the most important pieces for each person in this room right now is that giving back to our community. We really, really, really want to change the culture here in Great Falls, Montana. We want to make Montana not only a place to want to be, but a place that people from outside the state want to come visit.
Yeah. Make it great again.
And make it greater. No, I ain't gonna get on that MAGA shit, but I'm gonna say, let's just make Montana greater than it already is. It's kind of like the principle of coming and going. You leave the place better than you found it.
Fucking right.
And I feel like that's what we try to do with the Weekly Bus. We're always out in the community, giving our all to everyone, and it's not because it's obligated to us. It's because we want to fucking do it. We love it. It makes us feel happy giving back to our community all the time, is in the manners that we can.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I watched one of your episodes and you talked about buying Parkdale, which I'm very familiar with.
Yes, I'm very serious about that.
And letting people live there rent free, to save up for a down payment on a house. And I think that that's a phenomenal idea. And I hope that comes to fruition, because I really think that you could change a lot of people's lives with that. And even just putting that out there and letting other people hear that, I think is inspiring in itself, because you're recognizing that there's a problem, and you're saying this is a way to fix it. So I really, I'm telling you, I really think you guys are going to do great things. And that's really why I wanted to be a part of this, because in Montana, we do lack support for each other. And I think you guys in Montana that are really making waves. I think that's a really great thing. So I really hope you guys.
That topic that you brought up is extremely personal to me. I really do. I think in order to fix a community, you got to get to the source of where things are going sour. You can't fix things when they're going good. You got to look where it's hard. And I think where you find the hard is in the poverty stricken. A lot of people don't see an escape. So they just continue to live in a mundane lifestyle. They don't know how to fix it. They don't know how to look out past it. And the way you fix it is to help them. Obviously they can't do it themselves. So they don't know how to ask for the proper help, or they just maybe the city doesn't have it. So when we get into an opportunity, and I ever do get in a bidding war, because when we get that money, I'm going to get into a bidding war with the city of Great Falls, and I am going to try to establish Parkdale under ownership so I can get that dream done, because I know if we can cure even if it's just half of them, a fraction of what I'm going to try to do, that fraction can spread so far. The ripple effect of a good movement goes so far, especially in stagnant water. And what I mean by stagnant water is nothing's being done currently about it to help anyone. So it's stagnant. And I love that you brought that up. Thank you for watching that episode, and thank you for actually taking note of that, because that is very serious to us.
Shout out David Tinsley. Thank you for the stars, my man. And shout out to MK Cleaning.
And can you guys like, share, and follow, and make sure you give Annie Lowe a follow on IG too, man. For those, if you guys are really enjoying this episode and getting anything out of it, give us a thumbs up, a heart, whatever. Shout out to Ladies Night. We're going to have an awesome episode right after Annie, and it's going to be with Christine Faria, the motherfucking female goat of bare knuckle. She's the goat, by the way. You have an awesome guest behind you.
That is amazing, man. Kudos to her.
She's a stud, man.
Imagine, so kudos to her. That's some brave shit.
Yeah, she's a beast too, man. She if you ever get a moment to check her out, look up Christine Faria, BKFC, man. She is a savage. Absolutely. Awesome lady too. Self-improvement, and you said you touched on it a little bit when I asked you about your library. That was a total separate, but I love that you have it in there as a topic. What are you currently doing? What are you currently reading? How are you currently catering to your self-improvement other than being in the gym?
So I watch a lot of podcasts that are geared towards self-improvement. I like to read books. And I wanted to share a quote that one of my friends, he was recently on a podcast, he said, and it kind of it was very profound to me, but he said, try to ingest something positive each morning when you first wake up. And normally I open IG or, Facebook or the news, and it's like a crapshoot. You never know what you're going to get when you open, any of those things. Half is good news. Most of the time it's bad news. And you're kind of ingesting that negativity first thing in the morning. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Shi Hung Yi. He's like a Shaolin monk from the UK. And,
I am not familiar. Does he do videos as well?
He does a lot of videos. Yeah, he's all over.
Okay, so I am familiar with him. Yes.
He is a cool dude. He does a lot of TED Talks. But I watching his shorts or his
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what I was going to reference was the TED Talk.
Yeah. So I like watching. That's what I'm on right now. Is kind of his teaching style is really stands out to me. So I love watching his stuff. But just kind of ingesting positive things first thing in the morning has really helped me. But anything that will help me improve my knowledge, my knowledge level, or just my overall being, I'm digging into that.
How are you finding, balance between your physical, mental health, and also your being a mother, your children's health and their physical needs? And, how how do you balance it so well? It seems like you're very grounded and you're very soft spoken. And you also doesn't seem like you have an aura about you that's very serene, if that makes sense.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. Well, I just try to be, I think that physical health and mental health are very interrelated. So I kind of, that's where I find that balance in keeping those level. In terms of being a mom, like I'm so blessed. My kids are just amazing. Like,
How many kids?
I have two. I have my son is 14 and my daughter's 10. So
Okay.
they're like, they're very independent at this age. So there's that too. Because I do know, like me saying like, oh, you can balance it all. I don't have toddlers or babies anymore. My kids, they are very independent. So that's easy. Plus they're just really good kids, like honor roll students. They're just like well-mannered. They're just like, they're amazing. I'm like, I couldn't have.
They have an amazing mother.
Well, I appreciate that. I really do. But yeah, mental health and physical health are definitely interrelated. So I feel like if you are struggling with mental health, I mean, I know sometimes there's deeper issues and I'm obviously not a doctor, but, try fitness and try to see if that can help improve that.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome advice. In the moments this is a kind of a personal question. Don't mind me if you don't have to answer, but are you solo or are you seeing someone? Are you doing this alone?
So I don't want to answer that question.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It was just, it was more like a question of teamwork. It was a teamwork thing. But we can move on. Excuse me for the question.
No,
representation and inspiring your youth. Is that something that you do currently? Are you active in the school system and maybe, extending your influence into that fashion?
So I'm not actually like active in the school system. That's not something I'm opposed to. It's not something I've actually looked into, but I think that representation is really important, especially being a female in fitness. Like I look at people like Stephanie Cohen and Natasha Augie. I think I'm pronouncing it right. I've never actually said her name out loud. She's somebody from Instagram as well. They're both women that are very beautiful, but very muscular, and they're just like beasts in the gym. But they're people that I know were very imperative in my journey, because I saw that they were both like, you can be both feminine and muscular. Like they're not, they don't have to be separate. So for me, that was really helped me be more confident in my journey. So I know that that's important. And I also think like even in our communities, representation, like looking in Great Falls, we have people like, Todd Foster or like, people that like have inspired people from our community to chase their dreams. So I think that that's really, it's really important. Like if you see people that are like you in some way, whatever you identify or however you identify, if it's, like I said, from your community or your race or your gender, whatever it is, but somebody like you that's done something great, like it allows you to know that you can do that too. So I think representation is really important.
I think we're now learning that because, a bigger eye opener for me personally was when a few kids randomly out of state asked me for my autograph. It really stood out to me like, fuck, I need to start representing me better, because now I have eyes on me that are looking up to me, not only my children's, but other people's kids are watching and asking for autographs and shit of the show. They're like, we fucking love your show, man. And I'm like, oh, really?
I think how many kids like have seen so many podcasts, and now they have people from Montana, people from Great Falls, Montana doing a podcast that's, major. That's really going to inspire them to pursue that dream.
Hell yeah. I heard you almost shout out before Ty said shout out to Todd, also to shout out to Leo Brussier. So shout out to Leo.
Absolutely. There's a question in the comments from Derek Lamel. He says, when did you start your Legit Legs brand?
Ooh, so Legit Legs is not even a year old yet, I think, or close to about a year ago is when I started the Legit Legs. Thank you for bringing that up. My little plug. I got my Legit Legs sweater on now. But yeah, it's about a year old. It's a baby still.
Do you mind getting into details? What is Legit Legs?
So Legit Legs is a fitness brand that I created, and it's kind of just, for anyone who's working hard in the gym. Some people are like, oh, I don't have legit enough legs to wear that, but it's not really about like what your physique is like. It's more mindset, if you're putting in the work.
Yeah. Okay. It's a confidence thing. It's a mind style. Mind State. You said something. What the fuck did you say earlier? I had a sick
About what?
topic. I don't remember, man. I don't want to get stuck on trying to think of it though. You got something major, and what really truly I think brings you onto the show is that you got something major being brewed up, and you're gonna be making your way back home. It sounds like. Is that true?
Absolutely, yeah.
So let's get into it. You got something fitness oriented that's coming to Great Falls
that you're putting on, yeah?
Is it your show?
Yep, it's going to be an expo that I'm organizing. It's the Montana Fitness and Health Expo. This is going to be the first annual expo, obviously, and it's going to be happening April 20th and 21st, so 420, 421.
420.
Exciting.
Hell yeah.
And you're in a 420 friendly state, so it's going to work out.
And I put our start time to 420 on the flyer today.
So what is the expo going to be covering? What's all entail? You know, do you have any secrets that you don't want like reserved, but you kind of want to share a little?
No, I want to share all of it. So it's going to be centered around health and fitness. I've already reached out to some local vendors who are going to showcase their products and services, things that will help the community of Great Falls reach their health and fitness goals. I also want to have some free health screenings for people there so that they can get some early detection, also education on prevention, measures and things like that. So I want to really, I want to introduce fitness and health. I want to educate the community, and I also want to inspire the community. So we're going to have just a ton of different vendors there. I would like to have as many people want to get involved. So if you have a business in Great Falls, and you are geared towards health or fitness, please reach out if you'd like to be a part of the event, because I think it's going to be huge, and I'm hoping that this will be a yearly thing that we get to have there. And I hope it just continues to grow and grow and grow. And like it will not only.
Can I refer you to someone that you can hit up socially? He does great work in the community. He has a really fantastic smaller gym here.
Absolutely.
And he has a great program, and he's a stud. He's actually a ex-professional soccer player. Yeah. And he's a fucking phenomenal guy. His name's Zach Lacassie. He happens to be Christian's cousin, but he's
Fit Familia, baby.
He is a fan. He has Z-Fit, Fit Familia. He's very very educated in what he talks about, and he's extremely passionate.
Absolutely, I'll definitely do that. Speaking of cousins, Tylen, I think we're related, but we could talk about that offline. I got word from one of my sisters that you and I are somehow related.
Makes sense. It's Great Falls.
I was gonna say we seem to be related to everyone here.
Yep, one way or another.
Degrees of separation get real short there. So
really, that's fascinating. I wonder. Do you never mind. We'll get into it privately. That's fascinating.
Like this.
So it is going to be the first expo that Great Falls ever had dedicated to fitness that I know of, maybe in this whole region. I have,
because I've had bodybuilder shows, but nothing like fucking early screenings and stuff like that.
No,
that's really cool.
And it sounds like almost like a directed platform from what women want too, honestly, because they do a lot of that, and but it's not
different. It's
way different.
It's more geared towards
the home and garden show.
But I kind of related. But I will say, I want everyone to be aware, though, that this is not for bodybuilders or powerlifters. I mean, obviously they're welcome to come, but I don't want just the general public to be like intimidated or think that that's who this is geared towards.
Absolutely.
This is everybody about health and fitness, because at the end of the day, like, we only get this one body, and the better the quality of life, the better everything else seems to flow. So I really want to reach everybody. I'm not trying to like target a certain group at all. I want everyone.
That's awesome. I actually have had the opportunity and the pleasure to go to a fitness expo in Oregon, in Bend, Oregon, Fit Life Expo. And it was incredible. I mean, I won an award for, there was only a few people. There was like 20 awards to be given out between 400 and 500 people that showed up, maybe a little less than that. But, I ended up getting one of them, and it was for having the secret sauce of the fitness industry. They apparently think that I'm well versed. I didn't think I was going to win anything. I was sitting there watching everybody else win. They're like, and you Tylen Bates. I was like, what the fuck, for real? They're like, you killed it. And what it was actually was I got the award for, I got to sit I represented our peak here And so I sat in ownership and management, a GM position, and I represented our company in a whole at their table, at ownership tables, and all the owners, and we were talking about what we're doing in the industry and what we had planned and my personal opinions. And they said, this kid is on this something, everything. And then it was an awesome gift and award. And what I wanted to say is that those fitness experiences are totally non-dedicated to weightlifting and powerlifting. And that shit is a total overall health environment.
A healthier community.
It's fucking awesome. Actually, they had all this new gear. It was the first time I ever seen a hydro bed. And so I got to use it before they got released to the public and shit. It was really cool.
Hell yeah. Jeff Unger has another question. He said, what is your favorite cheat meal?
Oh, it's got to be pancakes or waffles.
Pancakes. Wow.
Yeah, pancakes or waffles would have to be my go-to cheat meal.
Homemade or IHOP or Denny's? What are you thinking?
Man, homemade, because then you can get all the toppings, and it's just like my pancakes are gonna be ridiculous. Like I have like everything on top of there, so really not
right. Yeah, if you're eating, you might as well go all the way, right?
Absolutely.
Don't let him fool you. Levi has the secret sauce. Yeah, you know, Jeff.
I also have another person that you might want to hit up for this. He is the GM of the Peak, and he's been there for I would say probably going on 10 years now.
I'm not sure.
And his name's John Bull. And if you can't get a hold of him, ask for Tyler Willis. They're good leaders, and the Peak is also a powerhouse. And
we got a few people to recommend.
Yeah. Like I was saying to her privately, I was like, you kind of hit up not only just because of exposure, but we're really well connected with the fitness industry here.
Well, I'm excited. I feel like it was like fate, so I'm super excited about this because, when I left Montana right out of high school, like I kind of had the mindset initially, like to never look back. I was like in a negative, I don't ever want to go back there. And now like, I love coming back to visit and seeing my family. And I'm real excited to get back to that community.
I think that's a great way to start. And I think you're going to make a big impression for the people that end up coming. I really do. I got a question for you. This comes out of curiosity is how did you find out about the bust?
I found out one of my sisters actually told me about your podcast, and I followed you guys on Instagram. And initially, I don't know that I wanted to be a guest. I just kind of wanted to like support you guys, and then it kind of happened where the expo was kind of brewing in my mind, and I felt like it'd be a good way to get the word out about that.
Absolutely,
and I think that's the perfect spot to say it.
Word of mouth is the best. If your friends are talking about us, that's a good sign.
Absolutely,
yeah.
That
was
there. It's probably a given. So I'm telling you guys, next time I see you guys, I won't be surprised if you guys are like nationwide.
Oh, yeah, that's so cool.
Fucking
what's some of your best advice that you would offer to a person struggling with mental health?
Oh man, don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to let people know. A lot of times we think when we're going through something, there's something wrong with us. Our brains are meant to keep our body functioning. They're not meant to keep us happy. So because you're not happy, it doesn't mean something's wrong with you. So don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to let people know. Because I guarantee there's going to be someone there to support you and help you work through that. And if it's something deeper than that, like get the correct help that you need. Don't think you have to suffer alone.
That's fucking dope.
I don't think I could have added any better advice.
Yeah,
Did we not just talk about this shit?
Yeah.
That was fantastic advice. So if anybody's struggling with mental health, do not be afraid. We are extremely passionate about being advocates for people who are struggling with mental health. We're anti-suicide. So if you are having a really tough time and you're not getting a hold of anyone, our DMs are wide open. Please reach out. What's our suicide hotline, or what is it?
988. Thanks to Jeff Unger for already dropping it in the comments because I knew where this was rolling.
My dog. Yeah, we do it. We're quite passionate about it. We mention it all the time. Montana has a huge suicide rate, and especially for men. And we always like to call it out. And you don't have to be a man, obviously, to be struggling with mental health. But this month is the focus on men's mental health.
Jeff Unger, what did he say here? Vitamin D in winter months. Yes, very, very good.
Well, speaking about people, if you're having so I don't know if you guys are spiritual or any of the listeners are, but on our end, we're pretty spiritual, especially me and my mom. We talk about this shit nightly.
Kira.
There's been a big ass sunburst that actually happened a week ago, and my mom warned me. She said, "Listen, we got some serious sun radiation coming our way, and it's going to be affecting our bodies in a negative fashion." And she's all like, "So just be aware, you know, you might not be feeling shit like shit because of your normal stresses. It just might be the natural atmosphere around you as well."
Hell yeah.
And it might just go away in a few days. So don't get stuck in a rut. Just truck on. The marathon continues. I got a question for you, and it's going to be an answer for you to kind of clear up things. Is what's the difference between bodybuilding and weightlifting and powerlifting?
Bodybuilding and weightlifting?
Yeah, bodybuilding and weightlifting.
So bodybuilding is where you're specifically trying to build your muscles to compete in a bodybuilding show. Weightlifting is where you're just using weights to exercise. And powerlifting is where you're using the 3 main lifts, the squat, bench, deadlift, and you're trying to reach the highest possible weight in each of those lifts.
Fantastic. Okay. Thank you. Because I think there's a lot of, confusion out there of what those titles actually mean.
They are interchangeably and they are different things, but bodybuilding is actually like the sport you're competing in bodybuilding. Weightlifting that's just the type of exercise you're doing in the gym.
What did you say you got your master's in?
Business administration.
Oh, you're a thug. So yeah. What do you use your degree for?
Oh,
what's
man,
the profession.
I've done like a lot of different things. I've had a food truck when I lived in Hawaii. That's what I did. I owned a food truck.
Levi has a food truck. Well, a drink truck.
Yeah, I own Sip
really?
He owns Sip Evasion. Yeah.
Oh man. And then I've also owned like a clothing store. So I'm just an entrepreneur. I like to dabble in that. So that's basically what I've done with my degree. Now I work for the Department of Treasury, and there's that.
Oh, you're a Fed.
I'm a Fed.
That's wild. What does that mean? I mean, that's a whole different topic in itself.
That is a whole different direction.
Did you work at the Mint or like what does that mean?
So I'm a tax compliance officer. So basically
Oh, good. So I know who to talk to when we get rich.
Yeah, we don't want to bore everybody, but so that's what I do in my real job.
So is it true is it best? Because I heard a thing from Kevin Hart, and Kevin Hart was all like on the lines. He's like, motherfuckers don't understand when they get rich that you need to. This is what his method of keeping himself safe was. He says, half of what I get goes to the bank. The other half I set aside for my accountant to pay my taxes. And then the half that I put in the bank, I half that and invest.
There you go. Derek has another question. He said, what's the website for the clothing store? Good question.
There is a link in my link tree. So if you go to my Instagram, which is @A_Belle, BELLE 43. I have a link tree there. There's a link there. Because I don't think it's just go through my my link tree. That'll be a lot easier.
Perfect.
Oh yeah, I carry my link tree QR code on my phone all the time.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's
so Great Falls Lax
more of the group because he's on it.
Yeah, he is, man. He's a stud, man.
They don't call me Money Man for nothing.
It's true. We everything that we get, we refer to Levi so he can manage the money. Because me and this guy are horrible.
Christian.
Great Falls lacks locally a nutritionalist. Like they don't have one around. It's such a weird thing to say, but it's true.
That is true.
So, do you have any guidance for females looking to get started into fitness, including their nutrition?
So I don't really have like a recommendation for nutrition. I do think that meal prep services can be helpful. I don't use one. I just kind of do my own research and do what works for me. But I never like
meal prep for the week.
What's that?
Do you meal prep for the week?
Not when I'm not like in prep for a competition, no. But I basically kind of eat the same foods over and over again, so it's like real easy for me to prepare them daily. But yeah. I would say do your research, and the good place to start is to know how many calories you should be consuming. And then as long as you're staying within your caloric needs, and you're kind of eating whole foods and not like the grocery chain, but like, foods that are as close to their natural state as possible, you'll be good.
Have you seen that scale that's like a $50 scale? I've seen it on my reels. And if you throw like a fucking chunk of steak down, it'll tell you like the kcals and stuff. Have you seen that?
No, that's crazy.
I don't know. It looks pretty sick though.
Do you have any shit talk that you want to do on any trends that you see right now that you consider dangerous?
Oh, Okay.
No, not in particular. Not that, you know, and plus I try not to,
you know, like, well, you know, like you see the ketos, you see the, you know, whatever.
Any crash diets? Is that what you're going at?
Not just crash diets, but, you know, just that was an example. You know what I mean? Do you see any trends such as keto or whatever the fuck ever that you see potential danger in?
Absolutely. Well, and one, I think that having a well-rounded diet is good. And like, unless you have like a medical need to not eat a certain type of food, I don't think that those diets are made for longevity. And I don't think that they'll last. And what will happen is you'll just gain the weight back as soon as you come off of that diet. So I think finding something that will, you know, last you for your entire life is what you really have to do. So try to stay away from anything that's called a diet. Because really what you eat every day is your diet. So try to stay away from those, you know, those fad diets, because they're not meant to last.
They claim that keto is a lifestyle. Is that like what your take?
Is that like vegan then? Is it that bad?
No, they eat more protein though. They don't eat.
It's like no
they
bread.
They don't eat bread.
Oh, I know the difference. But no, is it that culty?
That seems way more. Yeah, because that one seems way more sustainable than say like an Atkins or something like that.
Yeah,
out of all of them,
that makes sense.
I've looked into at least.
So you came from Montana, right? You were born here in Great Falls.
Yep.
All right, cool. You don't live here no more, but do you have any place immediately when someone's like, "You're from Montana, where like I want to go there? Where would I go?" Do you have a recommendation immediately?
Well, like food places, you know, you got to tell people about Taco Treat. Like that's a must.
Yeah, let's go, dude.
Yeah.
Shout out to our sponsor, Taco Treat.
Yeah.
You know, El Commodore is like a place that I like to go as well.
I'm out on it. Go on.
Let me see.
No, like even tourist locations.
Tourist locations, like, yeah, you got something like go to the Sip and Dip, you know, check out the mermaids. I'm trying to think. You got to go see the falls.
Yes, you got to see the falls.
Yep.
And
then you got to go see Lewis and Clark.
You don't never recommend Glacier or anything? Like, we have the best mountains in the entire world, and it's Glacier.
Honestly, I'm gonna be real with you guys. Like, I did not have the greatest experience of like getting to explore Montana when I lived there. And some people like would probably disown me as a Montanan because there's just something.
You better get back and go to Glacier.
Go to Glacier.
That shit's fucking sick.
Yes.
I know you gotta sign up now, but you gotta get in there. That shit's so dope.
Yeah. I actually did go like a few years ago, but that was like my first time ever going. I didn't like, you know, go there frequently.
Oh, sure.
So, but yeah, it's a very beautiful place. So yeah, you should definitely go there. I thought you meant like local spots in Great Falls.
No, even though that was perfect too. I'm glad you shouted some dope ass places out.
Yeah, because the first one you mentioned was our sponsor, so that
was
dope.
cool.
Shout out to Taco Treat.
And what really led me into that topic was the next topic was, you know, what's the difference between East Coast living versus West Coast?
Oh man, where do you start? Like, just everything. Like the vibe is completely different. I love visiting home because I feel like things are slowed down. People are like, you know, the vibe is way different. It's real chill. Here, things are kind of like a little bit faster, and people aren't as, I don't want to say as friendly, but people aren't as concerned with other people. They're just kind of like trying to make it through their days. So,
that makes a lot of sense.
They're not as
So
that's so smart though. And then how she said that, she's like, they're just not as concerned with other people's lives, man.
That's fact,
they got
though.
their own shit going on.
I mean,
That's fucking because Montana is very much I'm in your business.
It's really like that song. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody
No,
calls a friend.
I come back, like, you know, everyone drives really slow, and it's like they're just trying to enjoy their day. And like, I'm used to here where everybody's just rushing to get to where they're going. And so it's nice getting to come home and kind of like, you know, experience that again.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Every time I'm in the East Coast, so I've been over there twice now, I think, twice. And it's super fast paced. It's even more fast paced than the cities over here. So if you want to compare like a city life, Miami was way more of a super beast than Seattle. You know what I mean? Like it's just, and those are two opposite spectrums on the other end of the country.
Dude, me and Dakota drove straight, literally didn't take a turn for an hour and a half, and I felt like we got nowhere.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's just such a fast play, bigger.
Mind you,
spread.
it's 3 o'clock in the morning. And I was ready to get back to the hotel, but I was just like,
such a way different style of living over there, man, than it is over
Dakota
here.
High Pine. That's our boy.
Do you have any music favorites that you like to that you can't live without in the gym?
Oh man. Well, I have to say, like, I'm a huge J. Cole Dreamville fan. Like,
There we go.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna shout out like some of my favorite artists. Like if you guys don't listen to Lowe, like he to me is like one of the most inspiring artists that I listen to. His name is Lowe, Lute.
Okay. Don't even know him.
Yeah, you guys got to listen to his music, and I'm telling you, you'll be inspired. He's very much like a hustler. Like you can just hear it in his music. He's very ambitious. Cause, which is COZZ. They're all under like the Dreamville, umbrella, but
sure,
that's like my go-to music.
Do you like Nip Hustle?
Oh, for sure.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. I was gonna say my goat's behind me right there. Oh, right.
Yeah, Mac.
There. Bang.
I don't think she can see him.
Miller.
Yeah. So that's your motivator in music. Levi likes to listen to Daft Punk and shit like that. Like upbeat, really hypey music, almost dubsteppy.
Okay.
Cobra Man, if you had never heard Cobra Man
fucks hard. If you don't know who Cobra Man is, that's our loot for you.
That's our loot. Yeah, that's what we we'll look up loot. You look up Cobra Man, and I think we'll both be happy.
All right.
It's hard. I actually use Cobra Man on one of your stories. I put powered up. It fucks so hard. I don't know how. I don't know how you can deny it. If you listen to it as a newbie, you're like, oh my god, this shit's it, dude.
Right.
I had some weird topics, but I'm just gonna skip them. I do have a question for you because we do have an episode coming right around the corner.
Before I forget, so like in your off time when you're not training for like competition and shit, how do you keep your fucking shit up?
Your physique. Oh yeah.
Like do you lift like heavy or do you go light and more?
That's a good question, Christian.
Like
that's a great question, Christian. I'm glad you threw one in there.
Yes, dude. No one else calls him out. Good job.
Yeah.
So no, what I do is like I kind of switch it up. So it's kind of dependent on what my goal is. Like sometimes I'll be on like a strength program where I'll lift a lot heavier. And then sometimes I'll be on more of like what they call a hypertrophy program where I'm just trying to build muscle. But it kind of just fluctuates depending on how I'm feeling. And also to kind of keep me motivated because I do kind of get into like funks where I'm not like, as excited about the gym. So I'll switch up my training style to kind of keep myself motivated.
For sure.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. You're very much in the physical type of lifestyle. You're about dude. You're an inspiration already. You're gonna be fun to follow because you inspire. We have a weird turn of society that's coming, and we have AI's birth being born, like legit. So I got a question for you. With all this new changes coming digitally, what do you think is going to be the more dominant or predominant fucking route for a lot of people? Do you think people are going to stay in this physical world that we like to live in, or a lot of people are going to run to augmented or virtual reality?
I think augmented.
I'd have to agree with Levi. I kind of feel like that's just the new wave, and that's where a lot of people are going to gravitate towards.
I think it's because you can bring the virtual world,
dude.
You can bring the virtual world with you, but also still see what the fuck's going on. And a good example of that is the Quest 3. It has augmented reality, and those fucking glasses look like you're just looking at shit, but it's like you still see the hologram of your fucking
that's wild.
Electronics. I want to buy one because it's fucking hard.
And you can bring shit up and like it's in your vision, but like you can swipe shit.
I know taggers. Like, think about this though. When like spray painting is going to become a digital art now. Like you're going to walk down a fucking alley. Yeah, you're going to walk down an alley and you're going to see a digital spray painted wall. But see, wearing glasses and shit. Because I think that's going to be augmented.
That's all augmented.
Right. No, absolutely. Right. But I think that will be like one of the bigger, like we'll see a lot of art being displayed that way. And may drive traffic over to that route. I watched a movie last night called The Creator, and Levi did as well. He fell in and out of it. It's wild. It's really worth the watch. If you guys haven't seen it yet, watch The Creator. It's dope. And also, I watched Oppenheimer the other day.
I do want to see that.
And Oppenheimer was fucking gangster, dude. But I'm a huge Peaky Blinders fan, so his name's Sicilian, I think his name is pronounced, and he's fucking
Colin
dope.
Murphy.
No, Tommy Shelby, dog.
Colin Murphy.
Isn't it like Sicilian or some shit?
It's Colin Murphy.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know his name, but I really like him as an actor, and he did a great job as Oppenheimer. By the way,
watch Creator on?
It's on AI. And I watched. What platform?
Yeah.
I for legal reasons, I won't say how I watched it. No, I think it just got out of theaters and it's coming to digital soon.
Okay.
Yeah. So just watch for it. I don't know that it's on any stream platform quite yet. But it was really worth the watching. It was amazing.
I don't know. That just reminded me of the fucking
Killian Murphy.
I don't remember.
Yeah, see, there
We're
it is.
halfway.
I knew it was some weird name that I've
You
never
were
heard.
adding an S, I was adding an O, but it's all right.
I don't remember who the fuck said it, but it's a quote from somebody, and they're like, "It just reminded me of this." Like, I don't know about the fucking Third World War, but all I fucking know is the fourth one will be fought with fucking
sticks and
rocks and
stones.
sticks. Bro.
Yeah, that's Albert Einstein.
Dude.
He says the world. Yeah, he says I don't know what the world will be fought in with World War III, but I can tell you what it's going to be fought in with World War IV. It'll be sticks and stones.
Dude. Yeah.
That's crazy. Annie, we have a really big guest coming out after you as well, and I don't want to keep her waiting like we kept you waiting. I really do apologize for being 16 minutes late. I wish I had a little more time with you because I have a couple more topics I would have really loved to go over with you. That just means we're going to have you back on, right?
Well, yeah.
I love the show, right?
Oh, for sure.
Hell yeah.
It was really great to getting to know you, and I really look forward to your expo that's coming up. That's going to be in April 20th and 21st in Great Falls, Montana. It's going to be a fitness expo hosted by Lowe.
Did we do a follow-up and have her in
Yeah.
studio?
Yeah. Oh, in studio would be even fucking doper, dude. And hopefully we have a bigger studio by then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tyson. We have a major announcement. It might be coming up, maybe possibly the next episode. Beware of that one from our boy Potter. And I want to say shout out to Mike Tyson and his brand that he just started, Tyson Sports. He just started making boxing gloves.
Yeah, he did.
Do you have anyone you would like to shout out, Ann?
I just want to say thank you to, first of all, you guys for having me on, and also just everyone that supports me, my family, like everyone that's been sharing this, it's been really, really humbling to see how many people are supporting me. So I really appreciate everybody, friends and family alike that support me and encourage me.
I think you killed it for being nervous. You did a damn good job.
You did fantastic. And you showed no wavering fucking perspective on our end.
I forgot she was nervous.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, you weren't here most of the show, to be fair. So.
Checked in and checked
Before we let you go, we got to run by our sponsors and then make sure don't sign off, and we're going to chat with you privately as well. Okay. Levi, run us down.
Guerrilla Warfare Apparel, the best gear in the fight world. TWB10 at checkout. Anything you want in this store. TWB10, save yourself 10% off. You can get one of these. You can get one of those. You can't get one of those. But, anyways.
Lots of merch.
Hudson's Trash Removal. Yeah, exactly. You can slide in the DMs with our slides, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Hudson's Trash Removal. You need it taken out, he'll get it taken out. You want it shoveled as in snow, not shit,
he'll do it.
Get it done. Halftime Sports Bar. So you want to go watch BKFC 56? That's where you can go watch it because they'll have it on as well.
They have all the sports on. They
treat.
They hosted the Brawl of the Wild there today.
Yeah, they did.
Halftime sports. I just want to say shout out to John, shout out to Robin. You guys are fantastic supporters. Thank you for always backing the boys, and make sure that you guys, if you guys are in Great Falls, to check out the Halftime Sports Bar and Grill.
And 20 past 4, 5 locations: Prescott, Arizona, Billings, Helena, 2 in Great Falls, and 1 in soon to be, I'm going to say it, Butte, Montana. So,
nice.
And our Aunt Jamie St. Mark's and our boys over at Beard, Wisconsin.
Shout out to Jeff Unger Sales. On a
side note, he wanted to know if you like handlebar mustaches or should he shave. I saved that one for the end. That's for you, Jeff. All right.
I want to shout out Dom.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And then his food truck and all that shit. So shout out our boy, man.
Tacos of Valley. Shout out to Dom.
You're a real one, dog. You bought a bunch of merch today, and we feel really honored to say thank you.
Yes. All right. With that, we are the Weekly Bust.
Thank you.